It's the middle of the grind, stuck deep in the week. James and Dan go live their spirits at its peak. Talking trails and airwaves, mountains in the air. Hopping streams and echoes, riding waves without a care. Explode. Radio out on the peaks, voices in the sky, strap for a journey, signal to amplify. Pedals on the pavement, kayak rides ripple clear. Every path's a story, every sound we revere. Hump Day ramble, the hours alive. Adventure in their hearts, the signal thrives. POTA, SOTA, kayak, bike roll. Through the static of life, their voices explode. Mic in hand, stories pour, breaking walls that bind. Adventures, the religion, waves our holy shrine. Rove and wander, talk and share, find what keeps you strong. Hump Day's happy power, fueling where we all belong. Hump Day ramble, the hours alive. Adventure in their hearts, the signal thrives. POTA, SOTA, kayak, bike rove. Through the static of life, their voices explode.
What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zoo November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by, your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day, time for the Hump Day Happy Hour. And as you guys can see, Dan grew a really nice beard tonight, and it's gonna be an awesome show. Before we get started, as always, we're gonna give a shout out to the Patreons because they are absolutely awesome. And I'll tell you what, if I'm not mistaken, in 2 weeks from tonight, I will be doing the live stream somewhere on my way to Murphy. So that's coming up. Patreon meetup time. Looking forward to that. Also, shout out to the YouTube members, the people in green in the chat, or some of them are blue if they're administrators. You guys got your very first ever members only video, and man, it was a doozy. I was really happy to be recording for my doozy of an activation. That's a video that I probably would not have put out for all of YouTube. So you guys lucked up. All right, the ever-changing board, which I do not have changed because even though Dan grew a good beard, you know, his computer wasn't here to do this. So I can tell you the update. First off, thanks Kilo 4 Lima India for the big donation just a few minutes ago that popped over my head in that Buy Me a Coffee. Then Whiskey One Whiskey Charlie from last week's stream pops up above Eastern Standard Time. Then Kilo Oscar 4 November Lava, who got bumped off this last week, moves all the way up to 5th place from his donation from last week. Everybody else just moved down a place, which dumps Zulu Romeo X-Ray off the board. But that's what we got for that. And Whiskey One Whiskey Charlie, what is going on, buddy?
Howdy. Welcome, everyone, to Hump Day Happy Hour. Wait. I put on my Dan hat. I'm not a hat wearer, but
That's okay. That's okay. All right. So since Dan ain't here, I guess I'm gonna do this. Whiskey 8 Echo Romeo Romeo first in the chat. Hello, hello. Whiskey 1 Whiskey Charlie, who's on the stream with me. Hello, hello. A Alpha Echo 4 X-Ray Oscar was not first in the chat, but he was first on several hunts today. Welcome to the stream. Alpha Delta 2 Charlie Delta is listening as always. Kent, Kilo Niner Alpha Echo Echo. Mike, 88 KB. Dad's in the house. Kilo Oscar 4 Zulu Romeo X-Ray. Good evening, Bob. November 4 Bravo Delta Whiskey, who did me a very big favor this week, and I really appreciate that. Kilo 4 Lima India. Wondering where we are because it's Dan's fault. He didn't start the intro on time, Josh. What can I say? Kilo Oscar 4 Fart Sniffing Zebra. Alpha Bravo 8 Alpha Sierra. The other West Virginia powerhouse station. Kilo Echo 4 Eastern Standard Time. Kenny, Kilo Charlie 5 Mike Juliet Echo. Michael says hello from Kilo 4 Alpha Alpha. Kilo Echo 6 Golf Alpha Echo to Hillbilly Ham in the house. Kilo Oscar 4 November Lava making it happen. Whiskey 0 Charlie Golf Charlie, who even was still a 5'9" in the bands today. What are we gonna do to get this guy to be a little bit quiet, man? I don't think it can happen. Kilo 2 Papa Tango Charlie. Good evening, Chris. Frequency Frontier. My Twitter, not Twitter, my TikTok buddy extraordinaire. If you watch TikTok and you like ham radio, you should go over and check out his TikTok, and of course mine. Chris, Whiskey 8 Oscar X-Ray. Scott, November 2 Tango Kilo Tango. And let's see if I've missed it. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec is in the house. $2 for trying to get an eagle, being number one. I'll you know what? That would be a good eagle. And there's turd. What's up, Max? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. It's going to be a good stream, hopefully. So, what's going on with you, Brian?
oh, not too much. It's been busy with work and trying to get POTAs in when I can. Yeah, I've been playing around a little bit with some satellites, trying to talk to people on there. It's been a busy week though.
Oh, there's my cousin in the chat. She says, hi. Yeah, Dan grew up here. What do you think about that, cousin? Oh, yeah. So when Brian popped in the back end of the stream tonight before we started, he was actually outside listening for a satellite. So good to see that. No matter where I point the Kool-Aid, somebody's going to drink it. And that's a good thing. I've actually went as far now as started to pack my satellite gear out with me on some of the. I was hoping that I was going to get a good pass during an activation today, but unfortunately the bands were not being very nice, so activations went faster. And during my time, between like 2:30 and 4, I said, I'm going to give it a break for a little bit and let the bands get a little better and try to get some sideband because it just wasn't working today. But I did get a really good satellite pass while I was out, and I made 3 contacts on the SO50. So happy about that.
Did you let them know that you were Parks on the Air as well? Or did you just say
no. Honestly, from what I understand, you just want to say the minimum on there.
Yeah.
You're calling your grid square. You'll get a couple people that say a little bit additional, but I'm a newbie and I don't want to be that newbie that's getting criticized and everything else. So, but I did work. Go ahead.
Have you found yourself rushing to get to a park to try to make a pass yet? I feel like I'm gonna head that direction.
Not yet, but I, the more I do it, it's going to happen because I tell you, it's radio, and radio is just an addicting thing, And I really like satellites because everybody talks fast like me, just about. it, it's like everybody's trying to run a James pile up. And the funny thing was on the pass today, there was DX on there. I don't know where he was. Yeah, I could have listened to my recording and pull up the grid square and figure it out. But this is why I did not try to work him. Number one, everybody was trying to work him. And number two, I don't think it really matters because half of the people couldn't understand what he was saying anyway, except for his grid square. We could all understand his grid square, but no, I don't think anybody actually got his call because one guy asked him his call and he said his grid square again. So, I was like, I'm not going to waste my time. But then toward the end of the pass, I found my opening because it's better to listen. Just, just wait your turn. I was getting worried because it was getting toward the end of the pass. I was like, man, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get a single contact. And then I end up getting 3. So good stuff.
Yeah. I've heard some recordings and everyone's just, contact real quick. That's how I like just a little bit of chatting with POTA sometimes, but most of the time I'm in too much of a hurry to have conversations. So I'm usually real quick with my activations too. But yeah, I feel like I'm going to get to that point where it's, I'm 20 minutes from a park and there's going to be a pass in 30 minutes and I'm going to feel the rush to like, oh, I got to get there real quick and get set up.
John says he was away from the radio today, but he'll give me a 5.9. John's always a 5.9. Josh says he better stay away from satellites because he talks too slow. I don't even know. I don't even know. Oh Lord. We may even have a special guest tonight. I don't know. Sometimes we just have random strangers pop in the back room and want to come on the stream. So, but John also asked what satellite I was working. I was working the SO50 today. That seems to be my favorite because for some reason I get some pretty good passes here on the SO50. That end up being like 13 minutes long, and in West Virginia, a 13-minute long pass means I'm going to get about 4 minutes of usable sky time for me. So that's a good thing for me. So, oh, looky there. What's up, Brian?
Hold on, let me put Brian back up there where he's supposed to be. There you go. There you go.
Take my head off.
We came on tonight, and I told everybody you grew a nice beard.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah, it's darker too.
Oh, good evening, Jimmy. Good to see you made it. Oh, so John must work satellites because he says that's his favorite too. Maybe I'll work you one time, John. That'd be one call I would know right off the bat. Evening, Brian, Canadian Brian, Mr. Stroke TB.
Hey.
So yeah, I even did the hello to everybody for you, Dan.
I figured you'd make Brian do it. I'm impressed right now.
I had the hat. I was ready.
There you go.
He did put on the hat. He called it his Dan hat.
I didn't see it. What hat did you have on?
Oh, it's just a hat. I never wear a ball cap.
He never wears hats, but he said he had to wear a hat because you wear hats.
Oh no!
Look at here, Dan. Look at here.
Ooh. What do you got? Water?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. I'm still doing good. I've had one Dr. Pepper of my 3 today.
Well, I cannot make my hatless look the same as Brian yet. Yet. Give it time. Give it time.
What's going to happen is I'm going to stop drinking Dr. Pepper, and I'm going to get all skinny again. And Dan's going to be like, well, one of us is going to look like a ham, and I ain't getting fat, so Dan's going to get rid of all his hair. What's in the water?
Mio.
No, it ain't Mio. It's one of those packs. It's raspberry lemonade or something.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Scissors and a razor will solve that, Brian says.
That's true. It very much would.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't kicked the Dr. Pepper yet. Don't worry. I'm still loving my Dr. Pepper, but I technically don't even have any in the refrigerator. I told her to pick me up a 6-pack while she was out, but I would have had though. I looked in the refrigerator last night and I was like, well, I've got one. I forgot that I still had one left to drink that night, and I was like, I'll drink that one tomorrow, and then I ended up drinking it last night, and I was like, well, I'm gonna stop at the gas station and get a Dr. Pepper today.
There you go. So, Brian, how did you? Do we have a topic for tonight? I have not even looked at the description or anything.
Yeah, we have a topic tonight. It's why Dan thinks being at work late is more important than being on the stream on a Wednesday.
Because you don't pay me.
Well, I do pay you. I pay you in praise.
Well, that, and I do have access to the King's coffers. So if anybody acts up, I can whack them with a gold coin. No, I was going to ask Brian, how do you think? Did you participate in the Georgia Parks event? You as a hunter?
A couple, not anything serious.
Okay.
Just hunted just the friends that were out there.
We are patiently waiting for our buddy Robbie Whiskey One.
Oh, looky there. Whiskey One, and he is gone.
Be
All
about
right,
2 weeks until they get the scores out, but the interesting.
Oh, he's back.
I'll come back.
You totally froze just for
Did
a
I
while.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm going to totally disagree with Jimmy because I definitely do not even like prune juice, and it's never something that I would drink. And I sure wouldn't partake in prune juice ice cream. So I'm going to have to disagree with that comment.
That doesn't sound good.
John says that the topic is POTA. It's always POTA. But today's POTA was brought to you by Kiss My Butt Son. The bands were. I may even go out on a limb and say this is my second worst radio day ever. That's how bad the bands were today. So I don't know if it was like that for everybody. I know it was for local propagation because Terry was throwing 800 watts at me every single time, and I wasn't hearing him at all.
Let me tell you how bad it was when you gave me a 5.5 on CW.
Mm-hmm.
And I know your 5.5 is you sound like crap because you don't like sending 2s and 3s. So I knew I was really weak when you give me a 5.5. That was from North Carolina at 1,200 watts. That's crazy how bad the bands were. Yeah.
So yeah. I got 2 signal reports in CW. I've got 599 and 555.
That's right.
559. And here's how that works. If you are 5.5 or below, you get a 5.5. If you are 5.5 and above, you get a 5.9. Because I don't like sending extra stuff because when I send extra stuff, I have no problem sending it most of the time. But then I go back and mess up everything else that I know and send every time. I mean, I decode a whole lot of stuff. I'm not the originator of this topic, but I heard it was another YouTube. But do you think the bands have peaked already and on their way down?
Yes, but let me expand on that simple answer by giving you the little bit longer answer. I do believe we are at the peak, if not rolling off the other edge of it, but it's going to take 7 years to do that cycle. Well, every 7 years, so what, 2.5 years to get down to the bottom again, right? So it's a long. I mean, it's not like it peaked and then You know, it's going to be a gradual roll off. But I just think it's just, I know the sun barfed a big old CME or something. So that's the cause of that crap today. It must be true. It was on YouTube. That's right, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris says he couldn't hear Dom, Devon, or Mike on 40 today. Like I said, Terry could not hear me at all. It was funny because Charlie Golf Charlie worked me on CW, and it was so slow. I'm sitting and watching Discord and watching Terry complain about not getting me. And Charlie Golf Charlie's telling him he's 30 over there, rubbing it in. and I literally cannot hear him at all. But I'm wondering, I'm like, how are you hearing me? And then he's like, well, I hear you just fine on this SD. No wonder.
We are actually not at the.
We're not
Are
supposed
we
to be
not
at the peak.
It's supposed to be halfway through the year, so we're just before the peak.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be at the peak yet. So
could anyone hear PP? No, we can't hear PP. I don't care if the sun is totally quiet. There's
actually
plenty of spots to help propagation.
Actually, no funny thing, because I got to make him complain today. He said the bands are really horrible when I have to use my amp to work James on CW. He said I had to hook up my amp to do 60 watts. I'm like, well, why don't you use a regular radio and you don't have to use an amp to do 60 watts? Yeah, it was really bad. Now, surprisingly, I said, you know what? I'm because 20 was worse than 40 was.
Yeah,
like I couldn't hear nothing, but I scrolled the whole 20-meter band and couldn't hear a single station on it. All I heard was S9 noise.
Surprisingly, I did get 2 new to me parks though. I got a new Georgia park, and I got one of the New Jersey parks that I need. So I'm down to just a handful left in both of those states.
But so I went over to 17 for just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I actually worked Yankee Victor Delta on 17 meters.
You know what's funny? You said that, and you reminded me. Your spot came across 17, and Jumbo Marshmallow goes, "What in the heck's he doing on 17 meters in West Virginia?" And I said, "The bands must suck."
Oh yeah. I've literally had 30 contacts on sideband.
Yeah, that's terrible.
30 contacts. And this was after me waiting almost 2 hours hoping the bands would get better, because I did 3 activations in CW. And I said, you know, I'm gonna give it a couple hours, and I ended up hunting satellites is what I ended up doing. But I'm gonna give it a couple hours, and then I'm gonna hit the twofer. It didn't help. It didn't help at all. So
my
Brent
gauge,
got his Antarctica QSO card from what is Antarctica? What prefix is that? I forget. But anyway, awesome, dude. He got his QSO card from Antarctica.
That is pretty awesome. And John says he worked 6 new ops on Tuesday and 6 new parks. That's pretty awesome. Good to see we're still growing. You know, that's a great thing. You know, so you know, since we're talking about the band going downhill, this is what I want to know. What do you think is going to become of all these POTA hunters when we start to get in really, really bad band conditions?
Ain't gonna bother me, no.
Well, I mean, it ain't going to bother me either. But you know, I have a feeling, because Terry's flexing. Terry likes to flex, don't he? He's flexing his arms, because we all know he ain't gonna flex his legs.
I was about to say, you know, it's not his arms. He was flexing his thighs.
Amps at the park. You know, I mean, I'm serious because POTA hunters, I love you guys to death, but you know, you guys get a little dramatic sometimes about the bands. You know,
I don't think this is what I think is going to happen. Now, I've been licensed since everybody knows my story, but I'll 95ish. And I kind of dropped out of the hobby. So I've never really, in 95, I believe, was around the last peakish. And I've never experienced being a ham, even though I was licensed. I dropped out of the hobby. So I've never experienced the low. But this is what I think is going to happen. Now that we're having all this fun on the high and PP is over there doing backflips because he's working, you know, New Zealand on a picowatt. But I think what's going to happen is your DX is going to go to crap. But I think the local 20, when I say local 20, I mean like from here in South Georgia to New Jersey, that's still going to be okay on a daily basis. Your 40 meters is still going to be okay on a daily basis. What's going to suffer the most is your higher band DX. And
who is it, Dan?
Whiskey One, Whiskey Charlie.
No, Whiskey One, Whiskey Charlie. Thank you very much for the buy me a coffee. Yeah,
And since I can't pin it in the chat here, you get first chair.
there we go. We'll give him first chair.
There you go.
Yeah, he's being smart because evidently he's wanting me to use that money towards the Murphy trip. Because if you want to donate toward the Murphy trip, you would have to do buy me a coffee or PayPal. Any other donations are fine through YouTube. But if you want it to be for the Murphy trip, that's the only way I'll get it before Murphy.
Yeah, that's what I think's going to happen during the solar minimum. It's going to affect the higher band DX more than it will.
Honestly, that could be a good thing.
But yeah, you're not going to hear hola.
Well, no. It could be a good thing for POTA though, because then all of these people who just are stuck on DX are going to need something to do.
Yeah, I thought your new DX entity count will probably go down drastically. But yeah, we're still going to have fun regardless. You know,
maybe people activate Florida on 40.
Maybe people get on 40 meters in Florida. You're right.
Listen, you know, I go to Florida every year, and every year I go to 40.
Yeah, and it worked.
But I'll tell you why they don't do it. Because no, it don't work.
Because it's not. I told my toy ostrich the other day. He said 40's dead. It only works in February in Florida.
It don't work at all. All you're going to get is other Florida stations or South Georgia. But you still should. I mean, here's the thing. I don't care what state you're in. Unless you're roving and you're just busting through the state and you got to go, then I understand hitting the band that you know is going to work. But if I'm staying all night in California, first off, that'll never happen because I'm just going to pop in California, get the first park, and get out. So you probably won't see no 40 meter from me. But if I'm staying the night there and not trying to, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 40 meters because I want to give the locals a chance to get their own parks.
Right.
You know, you should always start on 40 meters, but people do not do that whatsoever. They immediately jump on 20 meters, even in states where 40 meters works better than 20.
It's not, I don't care if you don't start on 40.
Just go to it at least.
Just hit 40. I understand if your initial spot out of the gate is on 10 meters and it's 2:00 in the afternoon. That makes perfect sense to me.
Just go
because you're probably going to be there for a couple of hours working the bands. By the time it gets around to 40 meters, it's probably going to be 4:30, 5 o'clock, and that's a good time. You know, but I'm surprised that 40 meters is as crappy as it is in Florida, to be honest with you. Because yeah, you'll get Florida folks, you'll get South Georgia folks, but you got a big ass body of water over there, the Gulf of whatever they're calling it this year. You should be able to get Louisiana easy, Mississippi easy, even over into Texas. You would think. But
It's
Yeah.
just I don't know. It's just a propagation there. It just does not work really great. Now
no
I can
mountains in the way.
count on Dan hitting me 40 over as soon as I spot on 40.
Yeah.
But you know, it's rough to get activated on 40. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's people just, you'd think the Florida people would just activate you. Because I know the ones that do hunt me are very appreciative that I go to 40 meters.
Yeah, the Gulf of Canada. That's what they're calling it. Yeah.
I'm charging Brian a tariff for that.
Yeah. Propagation's a funny bird.
Like I said, when I couldn't get Terry today on 40 meters, it like the first three, he may have got in the third activation, but I know the first two he didn't get in at all, and then the last one he got in on CW. He was trying remote on sideband, and I came back to him, but evidently he couldn't hear me because he couldn't reply back. But so it was a rough day, definitely a rough day for. But people, even in West Virginia, and West Virginia sucks on 20 meters. But if people from out of state, when they go through West Virginia, they'll pop in the park like, oh, cool, they're going to activate a park I need. And then they go straight to 20 meters.
You alluded to this earlier. He just said he got CW with 800 watts. And if you're not a CW person like we are, you don't realize how crazy that is. If the band's just a sliver of a bit open, 800 watts will wrap you around the earth probably 6 times, and you'll probably get some delayed echo, and in 4 days you'll still hear yourself.
But that's the thing. I wasn't hearing him on the first 3.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I wasn't. That's the point. He did get me on the very last one, and he was loud. I'll give him that. He was loud.
Yeah.
But the first 3, he was doing that too, and I could not hear him whatsoever. The one where I worked U55, I couldn't hear. I didn't get Terry at all, and he was throwing 800 watts.
Jesus. I mean, I was pumping some power, but I mean, I was a lot closer to you, which was weird too. That was from Wilkesboro. So,
oh wow! Yeah.
I don't know.
What in the world were you doing in Wilkesboro?
No, remote.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And how did you get to South Georgia so quick? No wonder you're late for the stream.
I told y'all that year.
So there's a remote in Wilkesboro?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well,
I don't use remotes, but
let's see. Next informational stream, the satellite watching app. That'd be cool.
well, I can tell you what I use.
Because I told you Sunday that I'm planning on getting in satellites, and I put out my 2-year plan for you.
Well, yeah, I know you did. Well, it's funny because we were talking about this at the beginning of the stream. Whichever way I pour the Kool-Aid,
That's right.
people are going to go that way. Brian was out working satellites last night when nobody else was working satellites. Everybody was in bed. It's kind of like the new age POTA hunters. He was having to trigger the satellite to get it to come on because there is a trigger tone. If it went dormant for 10 minutes, you have to turn it on.
Right.
And he was triggering to come on just so he could hear his own echo.
That's funny.
Yeah, no one was on it.
It's kind of like keying up your mic when you're flying to turn the runway lights on. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Miss Yankee Victor Delta has joined us, and Miss Kilo 4 Alpha has joined us.
Alpha.
Oh.
She I see from her spot today, she is back in the homeland.
Yep. She's went back to the land of 20 meters.
No, 40. Yeah.
Oh.
We should just call it Flow No 40.
Well, see, it really 40 worked a lot better for me this year because I had the Eagle One with me too. if I've got the eagle one. Oh, look at this. So we're gonna have to highlight this.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
First off, when he hunted me on sideband, I was kind of shocked. I had to stop my pile up, and it's like, oh my goodness, Mommy Noodles has worked me.
He hunted somebody else today too.
And then on the same activation, he hunts me CW. I was like, wow, I am impressed.
Yeah. And he hunted somebody else today too. He was a hunting.
He says is excited to start the PZN challenge.
Yeah.
Kyle, you know what? I could give you a buy for the first half of this year, and you're still going to fall out tomorrow. Mary said she started with 40 meters today, and it was a fail. Yes,
Yeah.
Everything was a fail today. And Martini is hungry.
Yeah, she worked old the apricot astronaut today. He called in during her activation. Get a salad from Zaxby's. Non-affiliate link. But hey, Zaxby's, if you would like to sponsor the stream, send an email to hamradioadventureguy@gmail.com.
That's what would happen if somebody actually sponsored our stream. It would be a chicken place, because chicken is probably one of my least favorite foods.
Right.
And that's exactly what would happen. They'd like give me a lifetime supply of chicken.
Well, it's definitely not going to be Dr. Pepper now. You're dumping them.
Yeah, if Dr. Pepper wants to drop the cash, I can stay on the Dr. Pepper. I can live less if you want to drop enough cash.
I just want a Dr. Pepper hat.
Oh yeah, I've got Dr. Pepper underwear.
I don't want anything used.
Until Terry gets a hold of them.
All right, Brent, we're on pause now, buddy. Well, welcome back.
We stopped talking all the time you were paused.
Yep, welcome back, everybody, to the stream. Brent is here again.
Why don't I like Yardbird? Well, I mean, it's okay, but it's Dr. Pepper cotton candy. So it's okay, but this is the thing. All right. No. And I just got my women viewers up to 2%, and this is where they all leave. All women love chicken too much. And they want chicken. They want to eat chicken too much.
Chicken good.
Multi-pass. And the problem is I've been burnt out on chicken.
Corbin Dallas. Big bada boom boom. Chicken good.
See there? They're already leaving. I mean, she even brings chicken to the family reunions. I knew it was going to offend her. How many people are coming to Murphy? Mo says, I don't know, Mo. Put a one in the chat if you're coming to Murphy.
You're gonna need about 7 chickens.
Yeah. Look there, we already got a 1.
I don't have my chat open, so I'm gonna post here as you.
Okay, well, you post here as me.
There you go.
Because I'm coming anyway.
I guess I should have put 2. I love chicken and I love women.
It disappoints me that you're not coming, Eddie. It really, really does.
It disappoints me that Stroke Tango Bravo is not going to be here either. It's just a quick trip, buddy.
You know, Eddie, Dan could stop by and pick up the brisket on the way. If you really wanted to make it,
That is true.
But I'd rather you bring it. It's better when it's served by the brisket master himself. Oh.
I think we're gonna have a fun time, good turnout.
I'm thinking it's going to be a great turnout. Supposedly it's going to be better than last year.
Oh, I love me some Eric. Just got here and I don't know what y'all are talking about, but my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. Aloha and mahalo.
Well, my disappointment was I got 3 contacts on the satellite today, and you were not one of them, Eric. So
When you get to your new station there, buddy, you're gonna have to teach us how to say hello and goodbye in whatever the native tongue is where you are, because I guess we can't no longer say aloha. That'll be interesting. Hopefully, we'll get some good contacts with you too.
So since you're late, I will give you an interesting story, Eric. So while I was working the satellite today, there was, I'm pretty sure he was DX. I can't confirm this or not, but I'm pretty sure he was DX. And everybody was trying to work him, but all he would give us his grid square. He never would give his call. And people would say, "What's your call?" And he would re-give his grid square because he didn't understand what they were saying. So I didn't even bother to try. I was just wanting them to shut up so I could try to work somebody that I could actually get. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he was DX. I'm going to re-listen to my recording and get his grid square and look it up and see where it was. But I mean, have you ever had somebody on there that just don't give their call, just keeps going the grid square?
Y'all should know me.
I think I'm going to pick the most rarest grid square ever, and just go down there and keep saying it. Listen to everybody trying to work me.
What's the grid square for Noel Island?
I don't know.
You know, zero longitude, 0 latitude. They got a weather buoy or something out there. We're used to it before it died or whatnot. But
I think I'm going to petition for the grid square KL 01.
There you go.
And that should be the grid square for 1810. Kingsland 01.
Tortoise Overland. Hello. Welcome.
So in news about 1810, from the news that I'm seeing, it is going to sometime in the future. I don't know. I won't say near future because you know how long stuff says when it gets approved for stuff, but they got approved for a whole bunch of money, and they're going to make it into a resort park. What
really?
that means, I don't know.
More traffic.
But they're going to make it in a resort park. It probably means more crowded, and I have to activate on the mountain even more. But I have no problem activating on the mountain.
You have a favorite spot that you activate from there, right?
Do I have a favorite spot?
Yeah.
I've got multiple favorite spots.
Well, you should tell them with all this money they're getting, they should permanently erect you a non-conductive 50-foot antenna holder with a pulley up top with a rope. So all you got to do is get there, clip on. You're on the air.
I agree. Yeah.
They do. One-person pavilion, 2 people.
Yeah.
They already have hot tubs in the watch, Michael and Brent.
Steven knows all about them.
Yeah, Steve knows all about him. He won't tell nobody his room when he's there, but he knows all about him.
Do you blame them?
They should not erect anything for that. Listen, when I am at 1810 activating, I even get people to come and say, "You got any shampoo?" No, do you want any shampoo? That's it. Do you want any shampoo?
Just look at them like, "No, sir. Thank you, though."
It's probably thousands of people that never knew about Chief Logan, and now they do because they made a contact with him.
You know, it's. I wish there was a way. There probably is a way. I wish there was a way to so take out all the trails and multiple, the things that go across multiple lands. You know what I'm saying? Just individual park in a single place. I wish there was a way to find out what the most active park is, because I am curious. I bet Chief Logan is in the top 10.
Oh yeah, I would say for sure. And it's still, that's one of my personal how much is POTA growing things that I listen for on the radio during your activations, because not somebody I know just messing with you, but a lot of people, it doesn't happen every day, mind you, but a lot of people say, thanks for the new one.
Yeah.
And they really mean it. And I know that's one of my little markers just in my head when I hear that POTA's still growing very well.
Josh, there is a lake. It's a fishing lake. I don't know if you'd want to jump into it, but it is actually the frozen lake that is behind me in the intro when I'm doing CW. So, yeah, I don't know what it means for that. It's hard telling what they're going to add, but
Yeah. Terry, is the keg man going to Murphy?
I don't know. It'd be great. It'd be great if the keg man came to Murphy.
That's a long drive for him. He's from Missouri.
Missouri.
He's from Minnesota.
Yeah, he's in Minnesota, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah, it was one of
Yeah.
the M states.
You know, I honestly, speaking of Missouri, I think 40 meters worked great to Missouri today. Do I activate reoccurring parks in the same spot? I'm kind of confused what that means.
You always go to the same.
Oh,
place.
okay. Do I always go to the same place? No. Chief Logan, I have activated probably almost every spot you could activate in Chief Logan. I'm not going to say inch for inch, but in the general area of Chief Logan, and unless you're like really, really deep into some of the trails, I've activated pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Do I have favorite spots to go in Chief Logan? Yeah. If it's nighttime and I'm going to have people with me, I go to where me and you activated, Kyle, because it's lit up there. If it's nighttime and I'm not going to have people with me, I go to where me and Steven activated. Sometimes I'll go on the main top of the hill. I kind of stray away from it now because they made a Hatfield McCoy trailhead. Favorite pavilions. It used to be the one that me and Kyle and James activated, but lately I've been activating a lot by the pool. So now there are some parks that I always go to the same spot, but it's rare. It's rare for me to do that at a park. If I'm going to the same spot at a park, that means it's probably about the only good place to activate that park.
So Chief Logan is actually not that high up on the list. I'm not excluding trails, but like there's a lot of actual parks that are above it.
Really?
You have, yeah, because Chief Logan is 600-ish, 650-ish activations. Like
No, I'm sure.
Montesano and Caesars Creek have 1100.
Well, yeah, because you got to look. Them are Hamfest parks.
Yeah, but there's a lot of regular parks on the list that are even over
How many
1,000.
did you say Chief Logan had?
650-ish, 645.
No, I'm sure it has more activations than that. James has no. He has to have more than 1,000. You would
Chief
think.
Logan State Park.
Wow.
It says 645. 654 attempts.
And how many of those are mine?
521.
I would have surely thought you've been there more than 500 times. Man,
I'm sorry.
I know, right?
Guess I've been neglecting it.
I would say I don't know if you could ever find the stat for it, but you're probably, there's got to be a repeat activator top list, right? I'm sure that you're probably number one on that list.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Like as far as
there
she goes again. Here she goes again.
Throbbing and Panther. Oh, Thomblin. I'll start calling that Throbbing Park. Kyle wants to know what the top 10 parks are if you still got it pulled up over there. None of them are in Missouri.
So not including trails.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can't.
not-
We
Don't
can't do
include
the
trails
trail.
or anything that goes across multiple states.
Isn't
Or
4561 Trail of
areas.
Tears?
No, 30. That's 3791.
Oh.
So there's Fort Harrison State Park, Cedar Hill State Park, National Capitals Parks Park.
I know who that is.
Okay, National Capital Park is a lot of different parks, though. That's the
Oh, sorry, that's DC +1. Okay.
That's a conglomeration.
yeah.
Ray Roberts State Park, Greenbelt Park, Fort Yargo State Park, Crowder's Mountain State Park, Monsanto, Caesars Creek, Don Carter, Great Smoky Mountains.
You know, you can blame that for Crowder's Mountain. You can blame that on Kilo Oscar 4 Golf Alpha Romeo. He's probably the top activator there.
Smoky Mountains is multiple states, though.
It is, yeah. And those ones are all over 1,000 activations, successful activations.
That's crazy.
Chief Low, James. You got rookie numbers, man. you should be over 1,000. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Now go to any of those parks and find somebody with over 500 activations. I don't know.
Yeah, that's good.
I doubt it.
I think for a repeat offender award over 500, we should put like a little emoji next to your name on POTA with like an Einstein head with crazy hair and crazy eyes, make it look like you're just insane. Yeah, they just got done putting North Dakota on there. Him and VFR. They made over like 3,000 total contacts or something like that.
So I'm going to give you a funny story about that. How many times have you been in a park and North Dakota hunted you park to park?
None.
That's on my rarity list, and it just happened when Dennis did it to me.
They hunted me as well on that one.
Any parks in other countries in the top 10?
Oh, I'm just looking at United States. Can you look?
Brian, give it about a year. Y'all be a part of this. So. And Brian's like, I'll move.
There is not a golf course at Chief Logan. I don't know where they would put a golf course at Chief Logan.
I don't know. Right next to the bust of you, I guess.
I really don't know where they would put a golf course.
Yeah, you would have to choose a location. So I'd have to go through all of them.
They at one point had a disc golf course, but it didn't last long. The 12th Providence.
Province, yeah.
And they played a Hunger Games up there in Canada.
Yeah, put in a putt-putt. Chief Logan putt-putt.
Chief Logan actually has a putt-putt. It just sucks really bad. Yes, golf courses are usually on the ground, but unless you want to have your par 75 because it's all uphill, I don't see.
Yeah, but can you imagine being on the top of Chief Logan on a tee box and your hole is at the bottom?
Actually, I can.
That would be pretty cool.
When I was in high school, I used to go up on the rock cliffs and do fruit golfing.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
You do have a competition other than Delicacy activates all time at those parks up there. He's got a couple that are over 900, but the one is Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Papa Golf activating Fort Harrison State Park 572 times.
And to expand on that, those are probably all CW. Because he is a prolific CW activator.
Yeah, it looks like all of his recent ones are all CW, so yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's one of the ones that I can count on to be on CW at least at least daily, or if not often. You got you got a handful of folks that very prolific activating CWs.
I gotta agree with you, Brent. Hit that like button, smash it, crush it. If you want to play golf at Chief Logan's new par 75, I can make a par 75 hole for you if you want to practice. It's crazy. It has automatic ball return.
Yeah,
You got to hit it over the mountain. The ball's just gonna come back to you.
You can hear him whispering on the golf channel now. It's like, I'd like to welcome everybody here to the 4,954 yard par 75. What? I mean, like, why do they whisper? They're so far away from the green. They're not going to hear him anyway. I don't understand.
Yeah, that would probably be my new favorite spot to activate, and Chief Logan will be like in the middle of the golf course too.
Busting people's windows out in their car.
Be like, I thought this hole was to put my mast.
They dang sure be able to see the flag stick though, wouldn't they? That orange dang mast.
Well, that's just like, Stone Cold, or not Stone Cold, but daggone it, what is that resort park?
Were you about to say Steve Austin?
No, we have a Stone Cold Park. It's daggone it. Me and Terry just went there recently.
Oh, you talking about the one with the hiking and the boating and
it's basically a golf course. It's not even a park. You know what I'm saying? It's basically a golf course. There's nothing else really in it. Why is it a Stonewall Resort? Thank you, Pete. See, I was on the stone path. But I mean that's pretty much all it is a golf course. I mean, I don't see how that's a state park to me. It's a golf course.
Hey.
So
It's an R. Why can't I say that?
I think
Palmer.
I think Chief Logan should have a POTA course. You have to go to 9 different stations to complete your activation. And each station you have to do something different. Station 1 is sideband. Station 2 is CW. Station 3 is PSK 31. Station 4 is Hellscriber. Station 5 is Satellites. Station 6 is
SSTV.
Station 7 will be
CW.
2-meter single sideband.
That's a good one.
Station 8 will be 2-meter CW, even though I cannot figure out how to do it. I know it can be done.
The station's in use, dummy.
Speaking of that,
Earth Moon Station 9 will be EME.
Speaking of that, my shirt has shipped. It is on the way, and when it gets there, I will be approving it, I'm sure. And then it'll go straight to the page, and the the frequencies in use dummy shirt will be live, hopefully by next week. So
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that would be Terry on when it gets to PSK 31 station and the Hellscriber. He's like, mind if I play through? As in skip.
I want to go straight to the SSTV.
And Brent, I won't be stocking. I don't stock my t-shirts. They actually come from a drop shipper. You just order it and it just comes to you. I have no hands in it. I just approve the orders and stuff, but I never see them. That's why when somebody gets a t-shirt of a cat looking at flying saucers, and I get amazed. That's only happened once, but it did happen. Somebody ordered a shirt and they got a t-shirt of a cat looking at flying saucers, and they told me that, and I was like, I don't even have a T-shirt of a cat looking at flying saucers, and they sent me a picture.
And then you said, but that is a good idea. Poor cat. No, Kyle, that's not funny.
What it was is that shirt was predicting the future. It was the Simpsons of 8-drag T-shirts.
Yeah.
It meant that James is going to start hunting satellites, and sooner or later he's going to hook people into and hunting satellites as well. That's what it is. If you ever get a wrong order from the 8-drag adventure gear, it's just predicting the future.
Y'all need to leave me and Gums alone.
Oh, Lord.
Time flies when you show up late.
Don't it? Yeah, wow. Well, that's Dan's way of saying, guys, the stream is over, and I've been driving forever, and I got to pee. All right. So, yeah, time did fly by. So, Brian, what do you got coming up, buddy?
Work, hunting satellites, POTA, the usual.
That sounds like a lot of fun, except for the work part.
Murphy,
Get rid of that, and we'll be in conversation. Dan, what you got coming up?
Work, hunting POTA, no satellites, so I'm gonna get into that.
You're going downhill. Now, this is why you're on the bottom tonight.
I think I'm going to. I might make a concerted effort to do something by the end of the year in that. I think I'm going to pick up some stuff in Huntsville. I'm not going to stretch it out. Like I said, that was just a jab at James because I love him like my brother and I like hitting him in the ribs every now and again. But yeah, I think I'll make a concerted effort to do something by the end of the year on satellites. And I'm sure I'm going to be picking a lot of people's brains. So yeah, we're going to have some fun.
Yeah. I'll probably do a lot more satellite videos actually because I'm having fun doing it. None of them will be educational or help you in any way to hunt satellites, probably. But you know, if you want to see, like, if you ever like the Geico commercials, so easy, caveman can do it. Watch my satellite videos. You want to learn something? Yeah, whatever. Eric says he's going to record his portable setup soon.
Nice.
My satellite setup is changing as we speak. Got something right over there. It's going to change it already. But
just let me know before you leave out because I want to fly over to Hawaii and get some one-on-one instruction.
and I'm assuming you're getting a ticket for me as well because I need to activate Hawaii while Eric is there. Really.
Oh, I'm not going to activate it. I just want to go over there for satellite instruction.
Well, I'm going to activate it because I need to use this battery, so I ain't got to ship one there.
Yeah.
He needs the park to parks just into dummy loads with you.
Yeah. All right, for me, I'm going to head over to After Chat. After Chat is a Patreon benefit, but guess what? If you're not a Patreon, you can head over to Patreon right now and get a free 7-day trial. The only thing is you must message me or Dan. I say this every week. Every week you must message us so you can come into After Chat and get any of the benefits because I do not get notifications when people sign up for free trials. But then, like, I'll go back and I'll look and I'm like, oh, look, there was a free member. And they don't convert because they never get any benefits. And this is why. So please message us if you do go sign up, guys. Other than that, I've been putting out videos left and right. There is the new YouTube member video every week now. So that's another reason why to become a YouTube member. And this week, I can't say that every week the video will perform like this one did because this week I got lucky when filming that video. But that thing is a gem, I tell you. Other than that, guys, hopefully I'll catch you on the air tomorrow. I feel really bad about being in After Chat and not activating tonight because if tomorrow is as bad as today, good luck to the PZN Challenge, people, is all I can say.
Gonna be fun.
73, everybody.
See ya.